Operation G.U.L.F. Chapter 10 The shack shut down. It was now the evening. The U.S. soldier and Iraq soldiers were firing their MK rifles at each other. Meanwhile, the penguins and the lemurs were now in the abandoned shack. "All right, everyone, arm yourself and get ready to fight," Skipper whispered sternly. Skipper Kowalski, Rico, Private King Julian, Maurice Mort, and the lemurs pulled out their tennis ball bazookas. They all were hiding behind a calendar. "All on the count of three," Skipper whispered sternly. 3, 2, 1. Seconds later, the penguins and the lemurs jumped out, but there were no one there. Skipper Kowalski, Rico, Private were confused. "Where are they?" Skipper Private whispered nervously. "Stay alert," Private Skipper whispered sternly. All of a sudden, dozens of monkeys came bursting out from the cabinets and from underneath the couches. They were armed with paint guns. "Attack!" Skipper shouted sternly. Seconds later, the monkeys started firing their paintballs. The penguins and the lemurs split it up. Skipper hid underneath a table. Kowalski hopped onto a toilet. Rico hid inside a food cabinet. Private hid underneath a rug. King Julian, Maurice Mort were hiding behind the calendar. The penguins and the lemurs started to fire their tennis ball bazookas. Thousands of paintballs and tennis balls were fired everywhere. All across the shack. One of the monkeys jumped across the shack, firing his paintballs at 10 lemurs at once. "Ouch, I'm hit. It's in my eyes." Rico was shooting out of the food cabinet. 4 monkeys were firing at Rico. One of the paintballs hit Rico in the face. Rico's face was now pink. Rico got angry. Rico noticed a bowl of hot peppers. Rico got a sinister grin on his face. Seconds later, Rico popped his head out of the food cabinet and began to spit at the monkeys with chewed up peppers. The hot pepper juice hit the monkeys in the eyes. They all started screaming in pain and agony. Kowalski was shooting at 3 monkeys at once. The monkeys dodged it. Then they fired at Kowalski. Kowalski was pelted by the paintballs. Kowalski quickly pulled up the toilet seat up and hid behind as a shield. Then one of the monkeys pulled out a stink bomb and tossed it behind the toilet seat. The stink bomb landed beside Kawasaki. Kowalski's eyes widened in shock. The monkeys took cover. Seconds later, the stink bomb didn't go off. The 3 monkeys were confused. They quickly hopped across to the toilet. They pulled down the seat. They saw the stink bomb still sitting there, except it had something attached to it. "What the hell?" the monkey replied, confused. Meanwhile, Kawasaki was inside the toilet full water. "Nice try," Kawasaki replied sinisterly. Kawasaki pulled out a remote and pushed it. Seconds later, the stink bomb went off. The fight went on for an hour. Skipper was hiding underneath a table. "At this rate, this could take all day," Skipper whispered, annoyed. "I gotta end this now," Skipper whispered, annoyed. Skipper pulled out his stick of TNT and his jar of mustard. Skipper lit the stick of TNT and he placed the stick into the jar. Seconds later, Skipper jumped in the air and he tossed the jar of mustard with the TNT inside it. "This chimp," Skipper shouted angrily. Seconds later, a massive explosion went off that caused a cloud of mustard gas came flowing out of the shack.